Hello everyone, this is Pooka and welcome to another game I played on the Pokemon trading card game online. I'm going up against a familiar opponent in dmaster34. Somehow I always seem to get paired against this player and always seems to provide some somewhat entertaining games for the most part. And here we have another one. So this time I'm going to be using an Empoleon Dusknoir deck. Now this is not a very commonly seen deck, but I believe it is a powerful deck, and maybe we'll be able to show that off in this game. But it doesn't really have any absurd strategies or anything like that. It's just kind of, you get Empoleon out, you have Mewtwo, you try to dish out some damage early on, and then you kind of use, you take advantage of Empoleon's diving draw ability to get yourself some more cards and get Dusknoir into play, and then eventually use Dusknoir's Sinister Hand to rearrange damage, and then you can kind of take multiple knockouts at once with that awesome ability, Sinister Hand. We'll see if that can happen here. I started off with a rough hand, but my opponent did end me, so I do get a new hand of 6 cards, so maybe things will turn around. Now clearly we're going up against a Darkrai deck. There's a Burbank City Gym, so we know it's just a Darkrai laser deck. D-Master has been playing this deck for a long time, so I know what I'm up against, and we'll see if we can take this down. I don't know if this is a good matchup for the Empoleon Dusknoir deck. I have not tested this deck very much, but it seems like a solid deck. Every time I play against it, it always gives me a really close game, so I just wanted to try it out and see what happens. So I have an interesting choice here. I can end, but then I give my opponent a new hand of 6 cards, when clearly he doesn't even have like another basic or anything like that. So I could do that. That's probably my best option to get more cards. Maybe I can get a rare candy and Empoleon, or maybe draw a switch, or I could just play that Charon for 3, and that is what I decide to do, because I don't want to give my opponent more cards to pull off a Night Spear. And I don't know if that's the correct decision or not, but that's the one I decided to go with. Now I could attach to Piplup and go for the Fury attack, but I decided to just put a DCE on Mewtwo and pass. Nowadays we don't see people play Mewtwo too often in their Darkrai decks. We did see a plus power. That is an unusual card that could come into play. But yeah, nowadays people have kind of cut the Mewtwo from their Darkrai decks, at least in my experience, because, well, you can just do a bunch of damage with Darkrai, Laser, Dark Claw, all that good stuff anyway. So what is the point of playing Mewtwo when you can just run like Keldeo instead? So here I do get a switch. I'm going to switch into Mewtwo, and we're going to attach again, put down another Duskull, and you know, things are actually looking quite good for me. I get to X-Ball for 100 damage, and yeah, really put the pressure on my opponent. He was not able to get a turn 2 Night Spear, which is huge. If I get some time to set up here, I definitely feel like I am the favorite. But cards like Max Potion could be a big deal in this matchup, since I'm never really going to knock him out in one hit. I really rely on not knocking things out initially. I want to get a lot of damage on the board, and then get Dusknoir into play, knock out the thing that has all the energy on it, and then continue to attack, and just kind of try to take 6 prizes as easily as possible. But I want to avoid overkilling things. For example, if I were to hit this Darkrai again for 100, I would kind of waste 20 damage. So I would like to get Dusknoir into play, move the 20 off of this Darkrai, and then just X-Ball it for the knockout. So then I have remaining 20 damage on that next Darkrai. That makes a big difference. You know, every little bit of damage you can keep on your opponent's field, that can end up winning you the game. So that's the whole theory behind the Dusknoir. It is a very, very strong card. Sinister Hand might be one of the best abilities in the game, just it happens to be on a stage 2, and it's not easy to get into play. But maybe we'll see it make a difference in this game. So he goes for a Sableye, gets a Dark Patch, and we may just see my opponent use Junk Hunt this turn and kind of save his Darkrai. Looks like that is what's going to happen here. We do see an energy switch as well onto the other Darkrai. And who knows? We're just going to see Sableye use Junk Hunt. So again, no Night Spear. My opponent could have Night Speared me there, but then, I'm just going to X-Ball, knock him out, and he's not going to have any energy in play. So a smart move by my opponent there. Not just, saying Night Spear when clearly that was not the right thing to do. And now I get an Empoleon out. I know my opponent has Energy Switch and Dark Patch, so I would like to try to avoid getting Night Spear if possible, so I do play the end there. I don't know if that was the right move looking back, but that is what I decided to do. And alright, now we got the cards. We can Ultra Ball for Dusknoir. Get my Sinister Hand going. And this is going to look pretty good for me here. I could just, kind of steamroll my opponent if I get Dusknoir into play. I actually don't think getting Dusknoir here is the right move, because it's not going to be effective. Against Darkrai, I like to kind of hold on until the turn where I really know it's going to make an impact. That turn where it's really going to screw things up for my opponent. Because otherwise, if I just kind of have Dusknoir sitting there and my opponent catches it out, it is weak to Dark, so Darkrai can just Night Spirit and knock it out. And then I use so many resources getting that Rare Candy Dusknoir into play. It's not really worth it. So I kind of want to slam it down that one turn where it's really going to be worth it. So that's why I didn't Ultra Ball that turn. It didn't have any immediate use. And also would have had to discard some crucial cards there. I would have had to discard at least one crucial card, I think. So I decided to hold back. I did catch up the other Darkrai, though. I could have taken a knockout on that one Darkrai. But I decided to just spread damage. Like I said before, I feel like spreading damage out is the better way to go with Dusknoir. But that is the risk. Max Potion. And that is very annoying for me. I get lasered. He plays a Max Potion. He's got a Dark Claw. And all of a sudden, we're just not looking too hot. We do have a lot of damage on board, so that is a plus. But, we take heavy damage from the Night Spear and from the poison from Hypnotoxic Laser and Verbank. So all of a sudden, I'm up to 140 damage. But at the very least, I should be able to get a knockout on this Darkrai, and that means I'm going to take all of his energy out of play. So it's not a bad thing. But I will use Diving Draw here. Discard a catcher. And here I get the Ultra Ball. So I can just Ultra Ball, get rid of maybe Prinplup, and then another card, I guess Waterworks. And here we go. I can grab Dusknoir, and we're all good. So we're going to Ultra Ball. Get Dusknoir into play. Things should be okay. And, oh. They're both prized. This is part of Pokemon. And this, if you're playing in a tournament, even if you're playing online, you should definitely check for this all the time. I tend not to check for it online because they're more laid-back games. But in a tournament, I would definitely check for this. Both of my Dusknoirs are prized. So that is going to make this a lot more difficult. That is for sure. I am just without part of my main strategy. It's not good. And now I'm going to have to try to figure out a way to compensate for that. I'm definitely going to have to retreat my Mewtwo this turn and get rid of that poison. So I need to retreat to my Empoleon, and then we can actually use Attack Command. It'll do 90 damage, finish off that Darkrai, and we'll be okay, I guess. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, I do leave my opponent with 0 energy in play. That is beautiful. I've taken the first 2 prizes. There is a Mewtwo on my bench with 140 on it. That could be a problem, as we do see a Pokemon catcher here. And we'll see what that gun firing a web will get. And it looks like he's going for a Mewtwo. So this is the dreaded laser for a knockout play. That laser is going to finish off my Mewtwo. And he can actually Junk Hunt for a knockout. As silly as that sounds, that can happen. Junk Hunt for a knockout. We do see an Ultra Ball. And he's going to be able to Bianca for 6 this turn. He's already played a Dark Patch, I believe. Actually decides not to bench that other Darkrai. I'm not sure why. Probably should do that to get the extra card from Bianca. Maybe an oversight. I'm not sure. You never know on Pokemon TCG Online. It could always just be misclicks. You could overlook things because it is very easy to overlook things online. Maybe he just didn't want that other Darkrai to be catchered or something like that. He wants to be able to Night Spear for sure next turn. I'm not sure. Who knows? I could sit here and scrutinize things all day, but no point in that. Just a minor thing. And we do see a computer search. So we are going to see the dreaded Junk Hunt for Knockout. This is the most devastating thing in the game. When you can just play a laser, use Junk Hunt, get back 2 items, and your opponent is knocked out. How broken is that? So my opponent gets back a Dark Claw and a random receiver. And now it's going to be up to me to respond to this. Now I can just attack command, knock out the Sableye, and make it very difficult for my opponent to pull anything off next turn. And that's probably the route I'm going to go for. I do have 2 diving draw abilities available to me, so I'm probably going to use that. I could discard. I have plenty of supporters to get rid of at this point. I can only play 1 a turn, so it's not a big deal to discard them. I have to be careful with this deck not to discard too many resources. That's one of the things that can be kind of troublesome. I'm going to discard an Emolga here. That's fine to get rid of. I would like to get a Mewtwo down this turn and attach a DCE to it just to give myself a bigger attacking option. Empoleon is limited by what your opponent has in play. And, you know, if I'm limited to doing like 80 damage at a time, that's not good. That means I can't even knock out a Darkrai in 2 hits. So that's why we need the Mewtwo in this deck. Or at least the Dusknoir. That would be pretty good. But like I said, they're prized. I didn't get them off my first 2 prizes. I'm going to play Super Rod here. We're going to shuffle in Mewtwo, I suppose. I actually decided to take it back, which, yeah, I think that's a better move. I don't really need to Super Rod there. And then we're going to attack Command Sableye for 70 exactly. Hope to get Dusknoir, and no. Still no Dusknoir. So, in my remaining 3 prizes, there are 2 Dusknoirs. That is pretty annoying, but we'll have to find a way to deal with it. We do see a Hypnotoxic Laser on the Empoleon. If he can pull off a Night Spear this turn with a Dark Claw, somehow, after I end him to 4 cards, that would be a devastating blow. And there we go, an Energy Switch and a Dark Patch, and then an N. If he just has an Energy, he can now Night Spear me. If he has a Dark Claw, he can actually knock me out. So that is ridiculously strong off of a 4-card N to go from a Darkrai with 1 energy and nothing else in play to a Night Spear off of an N to 4. Not bad. I do actually stay asleep on the laser as well, so that is just devastating if I can't draw a switch this turn. Hopefully we can draw one, and I do. But the problem is I am up to, what, 130 damage on that Empoleon, so it's going to get knocked out by Night Spear pretty much regardless. We're going to switch into Mewtwo and at least get an X-Ball off for 80 this turn. And go ahead and Diving Draw. I'm going to get rid of... I can get rid of Empoleon or Tool Scrapper. I suppose either one is okay. I do get a rare candy for another Empoleon. I'm going to Diving Draw again, though. I'm digging for a Max Potion here, which I cannot seem to find. But I'm going to keep digging. I get a rare candy for a 3rd Empoleon. Once you use Diving Draw a bunch of times, you start to thin cards out of your deck, so you just keep drawing into good stuff. But no Max Potions, so I'm going to give up that prize on that Empoleon. And if I put it as a catcher, he can actually knock out 2 Empoleons at once. And that is going to be brutal. I'm not sure how many catchers he has used so far, but that would be devastating. He only has a 2-card hand, but it could happen. I do play a Super Rod here. Going to go ahead and shuffle in 2 Waters and I guess another Mewtwo. And we're going to be content to X-Ball this turn. I needed to shuffle in those Waters just to give myself a chance to draw into one next turn so I could X-Ball for 100 and finish off this Darkrai. And it looks like he's used like 3 catchers up to this point. So I am actually going to switch back into my Empoleon, attack command for 80, and force my opponent to have that catcher. Otherwise, he's going to kind of waste 130 damage on this active Empoleon. And uh-oh, there's a Juniper. Yeah, I want to force him to have a catcher, because Otherwise, I just give up a free prize on my Empoleon. If I do 80, I still get my play where I can just attach an X-Ball for 100 and knock out the Darkrai. So I still get my same 80 and then 100 next turn, no problem. But here I force him to have a catcher to either hit my Mewtwo and then knock out the Empoleon, or knock out two Empoleons at once. Both are ridiculously good options. But I don't know. At this point, it's actually starting to feel like, oh no, and he does it the catcher. This is where I get uncomfortable. I don't know if I can pull this off anymore. It seemed like we were at a good start, but you know, both Dusknoirs are prized. Darkrai is pretty good against Empoleon for the most part. And here we have a Night Spear. Yikes. That is 90 on the Mewtwo, knocking out the Empoleon. He's down to 3 prizes, and so am I. But, man, I don't know if we can pull this one off anymore. We might just fall short. I'm not sure. And let's see. I have Skyla, Charon, and Juniper off of this. I would like to draw an energy. I might just go for Charon. I actually have to be careful about decking out at this point as well. I'm running low on some cards. I'm going to Charon for 3. I get another double Collis. Now I can diving draw once or twice here. But at this point I'm kind of digging for Max Potion. I mean, if I get Max Potion, I could just kind of heal off my Mewtwo and then X-Ball for 80. And then I can actually Dowsing Machine for the Max Potion and then X-Ball again. And then I'm probably going to be on the winning end of this game. But we'll see. I do Diving Draw. Alright, there's a Max Potion. My other option is just to attach another double Collis to the active. And then I can X-Ball for a ton of damage. And then that'll allow me to attack command for a knockout. So that is my other option. I'm not sure which one is the best here. But I don't know. I think I'm going to go for this X-Ball strategy. I think looking back, I should have just gone for the Max Potion. Just hit the active for 80. And then next turn I can actually just finish it off with another X-Ball. But, you know, hindsight is 20/20. And I figured at this point it would be very difficult for him to knock out an Empoleon in one hit. I'm pretty sure he's out of catchers at this point as well. So, with Max Potion, I feel like it's going to be extremely difficult for him to get that last prize. You know, unless he starts targeting down Duskull. That could be a problem since we both, well, we all know my 2 Dusknoirs are prized. So yeah, we're going to take a look here, and it looks like there are 4 catchers gone, so no worries about that, and a computer search, so we don't have to worry about Dowsing Machine. I only have 3 cards left. That could actually come back to bite me. Could maybe deck out. Depends on how long this game actually goes for. He could stall out with some Darkrai's. That is a possibility. But who knows? He's definitely going to knock out Mewtwo this turn. Going to go down to 1 prize. And we'll see what happens from there. I am not too sure. I might just fall a little bit short against Darkrai. Empoleon is just not strong enough sometimes. That's why you kind of need that Dusknoir support. But he's going to retreat to this other Darkrai with 80 damage on it. And that's actually going to prevent me from getting a knockout. I max out at 90 damage if my bench is full, because he's only got 3 Pokemon in play. I don't have plus power or anything like that. That's kind of why I played Dusknoir to begin with, to kind of help out with this math in these situations. But again, when I don't have that at my disposal, it makes it a little difficult. So I do send up my Empoleon. I can Max Potion. I'm going to Diving Draw, which is kind of risky. But I feel like this is something I have to do here to kind of help myself out. I don't know if this is the right move or not. I could just Max Potion and then attack command. And then next turn, maybe Dowsing Machine for Max Potion and then attack command for the knockout. I don't know if going this route was the best move or not. What I'm thinking is I'm going to just Dowsing Machine for a switch and then go into Mewtwo. and X-Ball. And then next turn, I can retreat the Mewtwo to an Empoleon, and then Max Potion the Empoleon. Yeah, Max Potion the Empoleon. Attack command for a knockout, and then I'll get Dusknoir off of my prizes, and then I should win the game. It's just a matter of, do I have enough time? I can end to prevent myself from decking out. That is something I can do. But I've left myself in an unfavorable position where I actually have to rely on top decking the right cards. So I need to switch here, and I'm going to need at least, I think, 3 turns to pull something off. Or maybe, yeah, 3 turns, I think, including this one. So if I do the math, I need to shuffle in my hand, and then I need to draw 3 cards from N. So I need to have 2 more draws the next couple turns in order to give myself a shot to win. So, yeah, this is not looking good anymore. I am just going to end here, I suppose. And I need to draw a double colorless off of this. Otherwise, I am going to lose the game. And I do get the DCE. I luck out there. I'm going to X-Ball for 80 damage, which is just short of the knockout. And man, I'm wishing I had Dusknoir right now. I'm pretty sure I would just win outright if I did have it. But I don't. And I actually think I could lose here if he just retreats to that Darkrai with no energy and passes. He doesn't know what's left of my deck, so he can't know if that's the right move or not. But if you saw, I don't actually have any basic Pokemon left, so I could not attack command for 90. And I don't have any catchers left. So it would have actually been impossible for me to win if he just retreated to the Darkrai with no damage on it. But here he's just going to retreat to his other Darkrai and Night Spear because he kind of has to. And here is a laser. Oh no! And he puts me to sleep. If I stay asleep, the game is over. Oh no! What a way to lose. So he's going to Night Spear for 90, puts 30 on the Empoleon, and oh, we wake up. And we also top deck Max Potion. That was part 2 of what we needed. So we are drawing very well in the last parts of this game. Going to send up Empoleon. Max Potion, the 60 damage off, and that was his 4th laser. So that was huge. We have an attack command for the knockout. And, alright, at this point I don't think I can lose unless he plays another Max Potion. 4 catchers gone, 4 lasers gone. I have Dusknoir. There is no way I can get N down to 1 and not draw what I need because of diving draw. I mean, if I draw Rare Candy and Dusknoir, I win. If I draw Charon, I draw my deck, I win. If I don't draw any of these cards, I just diving draw, and then I draw these and I win. So at this point, it seems like I have locked things up. I finally get to use Dusknoir. You can see there's 160 damage on my opponent's Darkrai. So there is no way he can avoid a knockout unless, like I said, he plays like a Max Potion. And I think I'm going to win with no cards left in my deck. A very narrow victory. We're going to see he has 4 cards left. And, yeah, I think I have 1 card left in my deck. So somehow we have managed to finagle our way to a good position without Dusknoir the entire game. You can see just how reliant this deck kind of is on Dusknoir. It's kind of weak when it's just Empoleon and Mewtwo, to be completely honest. And dmaster says, shucks, I think you got this one. And I definitely was not expecting to win this game at many points. And there we go. Rare Candy, Dusknoir, and now we can just Sinister Hand, move all the damage to the active Darkrai, and attack command for the win. So this is going to take quite some time to move all the damage up there, but rest assured, we can move all the damage to the active and win the game. He says GG, and realizes that the game is over, so he concedes instead of waiting the 20 minutes it would take for me to move all the damage to the active. So, Empoleon, Dusknoir, Mewtwo, a pretty solid deck. Maybe one not on the radar for state championships, but a good one nonetheless. So, hope this was interesting for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Pooka here from the Top Cut. I have some more videos for you soon, and I'll see you guys next time.